Howdy, everybody. It's Video Rod episode 51. It's a somber episode. I'm kind of glad this wasn't episode 50, but if you guys can read the title, I got to honor my boy, Paul Reubens, on this episode. We'll get into that in the meat, but I do want to talk about that a little bit, aka Pee Wee Herman. I'd also like to kind of just riff and talk about that whole era of childhood and maybe our childhood heroes. I feel like he deserves it, man. I've loved Pee Wee my whole life, and I got a lot of fun stories about my history with the Herman. So but we'll get into all that in a bit. I want to say hi really quick to everybody we got in here. Blocko, what's going on? We got Rydog. We got James Long. Definitely a sad day, sad couple of days. Ishmael Premier never did get that Pee Wee Goes to Hell movie where he bothers the devil, directed by Rob Zombie. That would have been great. Yeah, we'll talk more about that. There's a Rob Zombie connection too. James Long, the the place with the dinosaurs in Pee Wee's Big Adventure painted Pee Wee's suit on the T Rex to. Oh wow, painted Pee Wee's suit on the T Rex to honor Paul. That's really cool. Billy the Kid Lawrence, man, it's been a minute since I've seen you, man. Thanks so much for the donation. He says, hope he's having drinks in the afterlife with Large Marge. Rest in peace, Pee Wee. Tequila. I've had tequila in my head all day long. But we'll talk all about that. And I read a cool factoid today about Large Marge. Don't let me forget about it, but we'll bring it up when we talk about that in a minute. Yeah, but let's go ahead and just kind of talk about other stuff before we kind of delve into that. Anything else that's new in the news? I know Todd has some things about movies he wants to talk about, some new releases, and if you've watched anything, I've watched a few things that I'll mention, but other than that, what's new? As far as movies, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head because I didn't plan is Scream 7 got a new director, the guy from Happy Death Day, which
Oh,
I mean,
really? Okay, I didn't know that one.
yeah, the dude who did the last two dropped out for whatever reason, and now they got the Happy Death Day freaky guy, which
Okay.
I, it's fine. I mean, whatever. None of them are Wes Craven, so it's like
Yeah.
it's probably good. It's like, you know what, maybe shake it up a little bit and give the next one a new flavor.
Hmm.
And Freaky and Happy Death Day are fine. I mean, so whatever.
No, that's interesting. I don't know. We're kind of chatting about it in our group chat that
Oh, Freddy, you're talking about Freddy, right?
Yeah, the Blumhouse is doing like a direct sequel to the first one, or
A
is it
requel.
a requel? Okay,
Which, by
okay,
the way, if you guys want to go back in the archives, I called it. I've been saying that for like 5 years now. Like, watch, Blumhouse is going to get the rights. Blumhouse is going to remake it. It's gonna happen. And and I don't know if there's any hard news as far as anything confirmed, but from what I read in the articles that were floating around was that the idea is yes with Robert England, but like
really?
yeah. So I don't know if that's his voice and maybe them using. I heard CGI Freddy.
Oh
Now
God.
I don't think I think that's got to be loosely stated because what I can see is getting a different model to play Freddy, uh, and then maybe doing some CGI work on the face, or just get a different guy. Get a different guy, or get a different guy to play him, and then maybe superimpose with AI Robert's face on there. Some bullshit. Um, I
There's
think
no
it's
good
all.
ideas for that.
I think the only way you could possibly do it is I know Robert's older and he's like a little fatter. Just get him for close-ups. Get Robert for close-ups, have him do all the voice, and then for all the action shots, get a different guy. And you know what? You could pass anyway with that because make it dark like the first one where he's kind of shrouded in shadow the whole time. You don't really get a lot of good looks at Robert's face unless it's close up. This is God. But he's like doing this shit. You could have like the same vibe, and then when you have those rare close-ups, you know, uh, I don't know. I knew they were going to do it eventually. It's not like they were going to let this franchise stay asleep, but
Well,
and
they
the
can do
only
like a prequel with a young Kruger, as a like a teenage boy, that
everybody's
sort of
doing
thing.
that with TV series though. You've got the Bates Motel, you got the
That's
new
true.
Crystal Lake show. That's just kind of the thing to do, which is fine. Like maybe that is like the best idea, but do we really want to explore like the
I don't.
trials and I don't know. I'm not into it unless he's actually unless they embrace the fact that he's a Play-Doh-phile. It's like this. I
They
don't know.
won't.
I just want him to be. I want it to be as dark as possible. You're supposed to hate Freddy, but they wanted you to love Freddy after the first couple. It's like, oh no, he's our pop culture icon. He's got Coca-Cola. He's playing Nintendo. We don't. If he's a Play-Doh-phile, people won't hate him that much. I'm like, because it did kind of shift. It's like he became kind of like the antagonists you root for. You know, get people cheering when he killed people. But I think if they're gonna requel the first one, make him dark again. Show him, don't show him that much. Like I think
Yeah,
maybe you don't
that
have to
could work.
show. Yeah, maybe don't show him that much. Have a lot of the dream stuff happen without a physical embodiment, or just you don't really have to have Robert Englund in there that much. You could probably do so much with it and just have some close up stuff of him at the end and kind of make it work. The problem is they're going to want to franchise this out again and have sequels. You can't have Robert doing this
I you think they
perpetually.
bring back Jackie Earl Haley?
No, that's so stupid. No,
Oh
they
man.
would never, dude.
Oh
Silhouette Animator, thanks so much for the donation. Pee Wee having the
yeah.
best
Thanks.
movie faps in heaven. Hell yeah. Somebody cracked me up when I posted that we were doing the thing for Pee Wee today. And I'm so I don't remember who it was, so remind me if you're in the chat. They said something like gosh, I'm gonna look it up. It was really funny about Zach and masturbating in a movie theater. Let me see.
It's the only reason he likes Freddy or something like that, or not
No.
Freddy. Pee
Yeah,
Wee. I lost you. Can't hear your mic.
put he walked so Zach could run. Huh?
Okay, say it again. You cut out.
I don't know. I said it. No, he just said to normal people, Paul's going to be a legend because he played Pee Wee, but to Zach, it's because he jerked off in that theater. Uh, and you know, and it's true. He walked so Zach could run. And you know, we'll talk more about that. But he kind of got a hard shake with that stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
anyway, but yeah, so Freddy's gonna happen, unfortunately.
What about Twilight of the Dead?
Oh goodness. Oh yeah, Romero uh the
Suzanne
Romero
Shore.
estate is
Yeah.
just wringing that dry. And then you have the Soskas, who I'm sorry, I don't like trash talking anybody, but I do think they're hacks. The Soskas are doing a movie too that's a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead. And I can't remember what they're calling theirs, but eh, yeah, and it's public domain, so it doesn't take a whole lot of creative juice to get that off the ground. And it's funny because for a second there they were like the it directors, and they had a second where they could have been a big thing, and now it's like they're doing the same type of thing that a low grade indie filmmaker would do because you can because right, how many Night of the Living Dead ripoffs are there, or Night of the Living Dead sequels, and
Like
on
10. Yeah.
yeah, and just because you can do it. So um you know, they had one okay movie, which was American Mary. Obviously, it was Dead Hooker in a Trunk that kind of launched him a little bit. And I don't think Dead Hooker in a Trunk's very good. I guess it's
Mm.
impressive for the fact that it costs like 5 grand. That's impressive, I guess. But then American Mary's, it's okay.
It's all right.
But then they should have taken that and ran with it. But instead, the next thing they signed on to do was a WWE movie, See No Evil
Was that
2.
Hornswoggle one?
No, they signed on. That's what Kane.
Oh, Kane. Okay.
And so that you think the next logical step in their career, while they had some momentum, was to do another unique original idea, and they got in bed with WWE and did a sequel to an already existing kind of shitty movie, and then from there they just kind of then they remade Rabid, and they
Oh
just
yeah,
kind of went
yeah.
down this remake thing, and it's like you guys are just turning into a bunch of hacks,
I
unfortunately. But
don't have any original ideas.
hey, it should be notated that let me see. I wonder if are we showing that Rumble's working okay?
Let me pull it up.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm not looking into this message I'm getting right. Maybe it means something else. Just want to
No,
make
it's
sure
working.
that's okay, cool. Yeah, that's a nice way to plug that hey, we're on Rumble now for anybody that is into Rumble. Oh, which by the way, I'm going to go see Sound of Freedom tomorrow.
Oh
Speaking of
yeah,
Rumble,
you taking the
yeah.
old lady with you?
No, she won't go. She won't go. She works with kids, so she's like, I don't want to see that because it's like it. But that's also part of the problem, right? Like
Yeah.
people pretend like it doesn't exist, and we know it exists. Everybody knows child trafficking exists. Everybody knows, and I don't even want to say those words because I don't want to get demonetized. But everybody knows that bad stuff happens, and people just put the goggles on because it's hard to think about, and you kind of like just put it in your head that, well, I can't really do anything about it. So it's like I don't want to think about it because it's not like I can do anything myself. But that's part of the problem is ignorance is bliss, and everybody puts the veil over their eyes or the wool over their eyes. And taking point, guys, we have fucking aliens, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody
You got the
cares.
it's so crazy because if these congressional hearings about the fucking aliens and shit like that were going on in 1995, game over, man. Like when Independence Day was coming out, this would have been
Yeah.
all anybody was talking about. But now we're in the internet era. Now we're in the like handheld device era where we're just glued to our phones, where we're so numb to everything. It blows me away. So yeah, nobody wants to acknowledge what's happening to kids. Nobody cares about aliens, which blows me away. I don't understand.
Well, we just went through
Everybody,
a freaking pandemic where thousands and thousands of people died. It's like aliens are least of
yeah,
the worries now.
it it's it it's something. It's really I don't know what the psychology is to it. If it's a numbness or if everybody's just kind of more or less like, show me, bro. Like I don't want to hear it. Like I don't nobody wants to believe anything because now everybody gaslights everybody over everything on social media, like whether it comes to if it's down to politics or whatever, everybody is spewing vitriol and accusing people of this or that based on something they say or may not believe. I don't care if it's religion. I don't care if it's politics. So I think people are just like, I don't know. I really don't understand what the phenomenon here. We had guys like Snowden, Edward Snowden, you know, basically be exiled out of this
Mhm.
country because he doxed the big companies, right? For giving our information to the government. And yet we do this every day. We know it. We know the government has our information in our faces. But yet we keep consuming and I'm guilty of it too. We keep consuming the products and we keep downloading the apps. We keep allowing them into our homes and giving them our information. They're listening to every word we say right now, and we kind of just don't care. We kind of just put the wool over our eyes and assume, it's just the way the world is now, and we just let it slide. So it's everything. It blows me away that all we know this shit is happening and with everything, and nobody gives a shit. It's really funny, and it's just turning into it's just been a with aliens. It's just been a giant decades and decades long gaslight campaign. It's absolutely crazy because like it seems like for decades everybody was treated like Randy Quaid in Independence Day, right?
Yeah.
Where if you claim you were abducted by aliens, oh, you're the town wino, you're crazy, you're gonna get dragged off to a loony bin. So I don't know, man. I am just really just blown away, and not that I'm trying to like be all Breitbart on the fucking Sound of Freedom thing or anything like that, but I think it's weird how a movie like that's getting politicized. Like, why can't people just agree that bad things happening to kids is bad? I don't understand that.
It's the same shit with the Barbie movie. It's like who gives a fuck about politics? It's like just
I,
fucking
I
watch
don't
the movie and shut the
I
fuck up.
don't understand. Is it because I am so dumb to all of it. I really haven't followed up on any of it. I just know the fact that hey, you have a movie that was developed by Fox and pre Disney buyout, it got shelved, and now Angel Studios picked it up, who does put out a lot of faith based stuff. Um, that's really all I knew about it. And then I started going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, what the hell? Like the media outlets on the left side are like, by the way, I'm just trying to earn my Rumble appearance right now. I'm trying to talk about this shit. No, but if you go on like a left leaning website, Jim Caviezel is QAnon affiliated, and it's like what? And then if you go on like the right affiliated, it's more like, oh, it's just like, what is going on here? Like, why are we politicizing this so extremely? Um, it's just hurting kids is bad. Like, what's wrong with like it's a movie based on a true story that clearly happened. That was a huge fucking deal when that happened. And now it's like, I'm sorry, the media wants to pretend like it didn't happen. You want to hear like shit about like, oh, it's all falsified. It didn't really have like what?
Well, it's
So that
based
that
on a true story, which is crazy to me.
exactly. And
Yeah.
this now we're talking about stuff that's in our lifetime. I remember that story. I
Yeah.
remember that story. And I remember it was all over the news. They talked about it on the news.
Yeah.
Great. But now it's like in my lifetime, now they're telling me again that everybody's playing down like this didn't really happen or it's falsified or whatever they're doing. And I'm like, no, I legit remember this shit happening. This fucking why is nobody making a big deal about it, and why is it being politicized? It You can't help but notice. Look, I think if you go full flat Earth, yeah, you're nuts. But obviously, we've gotten to a point where everybody is gaslit and scorned by society if you believe anything that's like not what the media is telling you, and I think that's dangerous too. I'm not going full Michael Bauer on anybody, but it guys, it has to be fucking weird that we had this entire campaign going on with Oppenheimer and Barbie. This giant fucking hashtag campaign, because it's pro movie theater, get people back in the movie theaters. And you have like Tarantino making public appearances, going to see both movies. You have Tom Cruise, taking pictures. He's going to see both movies, both tickets. It's become a thing. But nobody at the same time, you have a movie like Sound of Freedom that costs $14 million to make, and as of like 3 days ago, it passed $150 million. Which, by the way, it made more money than Indiana Jones. It made more money than Fast X. Which, by the way, all these big franchises are bombing. Fast 10 only made $146 million in the North American box office. That's fucking bad. So when you have a movie that's $14 million and it's 12 times profit only in this territory, you would think they would lump that in with like, hey, Oppenheimer, Barbie, and
I'm
support
not
this small
surprised.
movie.
I'm not
Support this
surprised.
small movie. But I'm saying they're all ignoring it, and you just
You know why
come
though?
on.
I mean, it's
Yes,
Hollywood. Hollywood is a bunch
it's,
of
it's a,
pedos.
you can't say that, Todd. Don't make me fucking edit it, please. I was trying to see if we can go one episode. Why don't do that? Uh, but Plato file.
Plato.
Anyway, so you could sit there and accuse people of being a fringe brain by saying that, but any person with a wrinkled brain should be able to know that there's something weird there. Like there's something weird to that one because nobody's talking about it. If there is a big movie out, it's obvious like that Jim Caviezel and everybody's not getting interviewed on mainstream media. It's obvious they shut the doors on it. It's obvious. And he's going on like TBN and he's going on the Rumbles, he's going on podcasts. It's so blatantly obvious that that is just getting blacklisted, and the fact that no celebrities are talking out about it except for celebrities that are blackballed anyway, like Mel Gibson. The celebrities that don't have anything to lose anyway, that are like that are actually supporting it. That looks weird. That's weird because, especially like I said, everybody's talking about Oppenheimer, everybody's talking about Barbie, which is great, but you'd think in this same campaign they would also be championing how much money a smaller movie like Sound of Freedom is making. But they're acting like it doesn't fucking exist, even though it's outpacing all these big studio pictures. And I have to believe that. Look, I'm not saying like Margot Robbie or is it Killian or Cillian? How do you say his name? Killian Murphy, Cillian
Killian.
Murphy,
Yeah.
Killian Murphy.
Lost your audio. We lost your audio.
Top of the food chain, but I lost my audio.
It's back now.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with this, man. I got to replace a whole bunch of wires. But I'm not saying that Margot Robbie or Killian Murphy are part of like the Illuminati. I'm not saying they are, but what I am saying is the whole industry is ruled by a few studios, and I bet you $1 million they're all being hushed because if you want to work in this industry, if you want to work in Tinseltown, you got to not talk about this movie. Like there's just got to be a reason, right? Because nobody is casually bringing it up. I bet you they've all been told to, hey, just shut up about that movie. Don't say anything. And if you ever want to work with Warner Brothers, you ever want to work with Disney, you ever want to work with all the big heavies. So that's just all it is, and that's why you have people like Jim Caviezel. That's why you have people like Mel Gibson. That's why who else was it? Yeah, this
Well,
this
they
couple of people.
blacklisted Caviezel after he did Passion of the Christ, and Mel Gibson said that he would. He's like, you want to be in this movie, you'll probably never work in Hollywood again.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
still wanted
I've
to
seen
play
that.
Jesus. Yeah.
I've seen that interview too. So that's great. I'm just saying, like that has to look weird to people.
Hmm.
I don't think you should be calling anybody a fucking tinfoil hat wearer conspiracy theorist. Like that looks weird. I think if you don't think that's weird, I think you're the nut.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just saying, from a business standpoint, why are they not? how much money Sound of Freedom is making is way more impressive than what Barbie's doing when you think about the numbers and the grassroots movement of it. So anyway, moving on to something else.
I
That's really
got
annoying me about the. Go ahead.
I got another news topic if you want me to jump to something else.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this just broke 13 hours ago. The Expendables 4 gets an R rating for strong bloody violence throughout language and sexual material.
I thought that was a given.
Well, no, the last one got a PG-13, so they're
But
probably
they've
trying
been
to go
saying
back. They're probably trying to go back to their roots because 3 was a bomb. So I'm
no,
sure
but they've been
Stallone's like,
but they've said that since 4 was greenlit. That's been
"Oh,
going
I
on for
didn't know
years. Like,
that."
yeah, we're going back to
Yeah.
R. Like that was a mistake. Stallone said that
Okay.
was a handful of years ago. Which no shit. I remember when he was in the media trying to push part 3, and it just sounds so disingenuous. Where he's like, when asked about it being PG-13, he's like, "Yeah, it's about time we gave this one for the other people now. Another like something for the other people, like the people that can watch PG-13." I'm like, "What?" That was the whole foundation of those movies was R-rated action with like aged actors and like the greatest hits of the Dirty Dozen of old 80s action heroes. And now there's like none of those guys. And it's just
Are you
Megan
gonna go see
Fox.
it in the theaters September 22nd? Is the
I no, it's my birthday. I don't give a shit.
You know
I
what?
have no desire.
I'm gonna talk to your lady and say that you need to go to that movie for your birthday.
I mean, I just don't care.
It looks freaking horrible, so I want you to have to sit through that train wreck so you can report back to me.
Yeah, I'm good. No, that's all right. You fucking report back to me, bitch. Why do I have to waste the money?
I don't go to the
No, I'm just
theaters.
kidding. Yeah, you go to the theater more than I do lately. Anyway, what else we got news wise? Anything else?
I think that was pretty much it. More Halloween movies coming out. That's remember Josh sent me something about
Oh,
that.
yeah. Did we actually fact check that? I'm really not sure what's going on there, but
Uh,
of course they are.
yeah.
More movies are planned. They're gonna reboot it. Everybody knew they were gonna reboot it in a couple years.
So yeah, they're. I mean, they're gonna drag that franchise even further down with them. So,
It look,
y-
it's gonna be Frankenstein. It's Dracula. It's just the new era of those monsters. It's gonna outlive us and the cockroaches and everything else. Michael Myers will always be around.
yep. But yeah, that was
So
pretty much all the news.
yeah. And as far as things that we've been watching, I've just got a couple of things. Believe it or not, um, I had never, and I finally watched them over the weekend. I had never seen the Kill Bill movies. I,
Oh, you watched
I,
them? Okay. I never
I
saw the
never
second
watched.
one. Was this?
I, I slept on them just because I don't know. They just never looked interesting to me. I think when they first came out, they didn't look interesting to me, but I didn't really know what they were about, to be honest with you. I didn't really get it. But as I've gotten older, I mean, Kill Bill came out a long time ago. As the years have progressed, I've understood what it's a homage to, and I've gotten into a lot of um, the Hong Kong and Asian movies and stuff that it's kind of like troping.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, oh, okay, I like a lot of that stuff now. And so I finally watched them. We did a double feature, and I really enjoyed them. Did you? So you've just seen the first one.
I just seen the first one. Yeah.
I think for what they are, they're fun. They're fun. Like I could see how like the casual might think they're really stupid, but no, like if you're versed in old Hong Kong action movies and samurai, because it's doing like the kung fu movies, it's doing a lot of samurai movie lampooning, and of course it's doing anime. It's also just blending like anime. And I've been, you know, I've been exposed to all that in the last 15 years. So I appreciate it. I thought it was fun. I gave them, I'd say I don't know if one of them is really better than the other. I was just trying to look at them as one movie because that's really what they are. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but, I was looking at people's ratings and shit, and you have some people that were rating them differently. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I mean, like, literally, it's just kind of cut in half. And you don't even get the full credits until you watch the second part. So it's like, and I think even QT said it was one movie that we chopped. So I'd say it was an 8. You know, it was a lot of fun. So, and what else did I watch? Um, I watched, like I said, I'm going through all these like who's who by numbers anime just because I'm trying to become versed in different genres. And I watched last week. I said I'd watched Wicked City, which is a famous anime that was pretty controversial when it came out. I watched the sequel called Demon City. It was not nearly as good. Demon City Shinjuku. The first one was better, but I don't know. It is kind of exciting that I've opened my mind up to more like animated stuff and Japanese anime stuff because it's really hard to find stuff to watch in like just regular horror or action. Like I struggle going with those streamers. Like dude, I feel like I know I haven't seen everything, but I feel like I've seen everything that's worth a damn. As far as like notable titles, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of random shit that I've never heard of or whatever. But as far as like the notable titles that you hear on the tip of people's tongues, I've seen it all. So I get real bored. It's real hard to find shit that I haven't seen. And so the fact that I just really started watching anime in the past few years is exciting because I think it's a thrill that I never saw a Ghibli movie before a few years ago. I think it's a thrill that I had never seen Ghost in the Shell before 3 years ago because Ghost in the Shell is like the equivalent to Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So the fact that I have all these like buzz titles that I've never seen, it's exciting. And more than ever in my life in the last 5 years, I've been watching more and more foreign titles. I've gotten really into a lot of Asian cinema, European stuff, and that's exciting. Just because I mean, like because I feel like I feel like I've run out of good American stuff. But what about you?
Yeah, I
What have you
think the
watched?
only thing the only thing I really watched was, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I ended up watching it, and the wife was watching it with me, and she thought it was fucking nuts. Class of Nukem High. That was the first time I ever saw Class of Nukem High.
Oh, it's
And
so it's so funny you say that. I was well, it hasn't been extended yet, but it probably will be. The guy, so I'm working on this movie that I'm actually filming in 2 weeks from this date, and it's a pain in the ass with indie filmmaking because it's a house of cards. It's like you think you have the house built, then one of the cards falls out. So like I keep losing an actor, and then I have to fucking scramble to find the guy to replace that because this isn't we're not a big studio. It's not like I can really hold anybody by the balls with the contract. It's just something comes up. Like I literally lost an actor that was playing a supporting role because his daughter was coming into town. Like, okay, well, he just said fuck off to the thing he agreed to do. You can kind of do that with indie filmmaking. It sucks. But
yeah,
anyway, the guy that I think is the front runner to replace him is an actor that was in Nukem High.
the original.
Yeah.
Really, what's his name?
I don't want to say
You,
here
you
because
tell
I
me
don't I
later.
haven't.
You tell me later.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you
Uh,
later. Yeah.
yeah, but we ended up watch, or she watched probably half of it,
Later,
and
Billy. Thanks, man.
but yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's not as good as Toxic Avenger, but
No.
it's enjoyable for what it is. So
Yeah, for sure. Hey Blanco, any other Quentin movies I haven't seen? No, no, I just was holding out on those two. I'd seen every other QT movie like forever and ever. I just never. I don't know. I've actually never seen the standalone Death Proof either. I've only seen it as part of Grindhouse, so I've never
oh,
seen the
Death Proof's
extended.
awesome. I love it. People shit on it, but I actually really like
But I want to watch it again. But I've never seen the
it.
actual full feature length. The because it's abridged, right? And the
Yeah,
Grindhouse, right?
yeah.
So I've only ever seen the Grindhouse one a
Well, when
couple
they
times.
released it on DVD, they put out the two separate movies separately, and
Hmm.
then they re-released it as a one. I think on the Blu-ray. I think I have that, where it's just the 3.5 hour Grindhouse
But
movie.
that isn't that the one that's worth a pretty penny. Like whatever
It
they
might
released was
it might be. I think I got a steel book of it somewhere.
whatever they released like the full Grindhouse like release of. It's I think it went out of print pretty fast.
Oh, this one?
No, not that one. I'm thinking of DVD. I think it did come out on DVD as Grindhouse then.
Yeah, but because yeah, one of these is this just the bonus features? Okay. So yeah, I remember back in the day they came out separately. They had two separate cases and everything like
Yeah, I
that. And
remember
then later
that.
they came out with this. So
But I think initially, like initially on DVD, they released Grindhouse, and it
mm,
went out of print pretty fast. Then they released them separately, and I think that original, like it's like a big box and everything. That original Grindhouse release on
okay.
DVD, I think goes for quite. I don't know if it went down when that Blu-ray came out. I don't know, but how many loads do you think Tarantino blew during the Barbie movie? Probably a lot, man. How many loads do you think his poor wife has to take on her feet? She's he definitely bats out of his league. Oh, okay, hold on. Blocko, did you guys see it in the cinema?
Yeah.
See, I saw Grindhouse at least 3 times. No,
Yep.
maybe 3 times. I saw it at least twice. I think I even saw it a third time. I saw it. I saw it with one buddy, and I think I saw it twice with another buddy, and then somebody else as a tag on for the third one because, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought
Hmm.
at the time it made me feel like I really missed out on an era because I enjoyed the whole double feature thing. I enjoyed the
Yeah.
experience. I enjoyed how long it was. I enjoyed all the faux trailers. I was dying at all like the missing reels and shit like that.
Hmm.
And I thought it was really cool. And yeah, it just made me sort of like long for a time that I didn't exist. Like I wish I could go back in time. You know,
Yeah. I remember I saw it with Lush, and I remember, the theater probably had like 15 people in it, and we were the only two left after the, Death Proof when that came on. People left after the first movie. Um, so I don't know. They just can't. People couldn't sit there for 3.5 hours, but I loved it. I could
yeah, I
sit
love
there
it.
forever.
And I hear about all these stories told by, actors and filmmakers that I like when they were kids, talking about, oh, I saw that movie as a double feature, at the old theater. And that's where the term B movie comes from, right? You'd go see the A movie, which was
Hmm.
the main marquee movie, and the B movie was the movie they'd play after the A movie, and it was generally like a horror movie or like a sci-fi movie or even like a spaghetti western. And yeah, and I guess there you go. It's like it wasn't like the headlining act, but I would love that, man.
It's the movie you watch when you're busy necking with your significant other. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's still a word, but
it's a Limp Bizkit album.
necking.
Yeah, we have significant other. How thought you meant that. No,
Oh,
we.
okay.
You know what's funny? Do you guys have a drive-in where you guys are?
Yeah, they just opened one up 2 years ago, and I'm actually kind of excited because they bring in a lot of good horror flicks in October. So, um, yeah, I'm looking forward. I did see Alamo. They're bringing Pet Cemetery 2 here in a few weeks. I was tempted,
Oh,
but it's digital, so I'm like, what's the point?
oh yeah, that's interesting. I think it's funny they opened up a
Mhm.
drive-in like just recently. So I don't know why it never came up while you've been out here, but we have a drive-in that's been here for years and it still exists, and I still never went to it. And it's in Glendale, so it's not like too far or anything. And yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about it. And I was actually going to suggest like whenever you guys come around next, we can forego the convention nightmare, and you guys should come in the fall at Halloween time. You
Yeah,
should
that'd be
guys come
cool.
in October. So it could be a little cooler, and we can do some of the Halloween shit out here. Like
Yeah,
we got some really cool haunted out houses, and all that stuff is a lot of fun. And yeah, like go to the fucking drive-in, man, and stuff like that.
I've been to
But
a drive-in before, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. So it's a great experience if you haven't gone.
what are you gonna be like in the back seat? Like Todd, move your big head. I can't see. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Silhouette. Thanks again for that donation. There was a
Yeah, Silhouette. Thanks, man.
no budget grindhouse movie filmed in my hometown called Midnight Drive-In. I have the DVD. Very little info online, so I'll provide. No, for sure, and that reminds me of the movie that we still need to do a commentary for, which was requested. We got to do Haunted Ween because Haunted Ween was that little indie movie that was filmed in Bowling Green, Kentucky, not far from where I lived in Kentucky, but um, yeah, no one talks about it. It's just so yeah, I'd be interested to checking out Midnight Drive-In too.
Midnight Drive is not Drive-In Massacre. I know. I don't know if you've seen that. That's a pretty solid drive-in movie, but
No.
I love drive-in movies and like movies that are filmed in theaters and shit like that. I think that's fucking cool.
Oh, stuff that where that's the setting. So you like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then
Demons and
like
all that stuff.
Demons.
Yeah.
And what's the Australian movie that's Drive-In? Arrow put it out. What is
Oh,
it?
it's
I
God,
can't
about
spit it
those two
out.
kids. Is it the two brothers, the twins?
Oh, I'm gonna Google it. I can't spit out the title. I know Arrow put it out. It's Australian drive-in movie.
I see the
There.
cover in my head. They're like holding like a knife or something on
Oh,
the
Dead End
front.
Drive-In.
Dead and Driving. No, it was something else too.
But yeah, no, I'm thinking about Dead End Driving.
Okay.
But anyway, do you have anything else that you've seen before we?
No, I really didn't watch a whole lot this week, so that was
Yeah.
pretty much
Oh,
it.
I haven't been watching anything just because I'm fucking exhausted, and I'm working late hours, and then like I'm gonna work as soon as I'm done doing this, and then I gotta go grocery shopping, and then I usually have like an hour to myself, and I've been doing this movie stuff. I've been work like next weekend. We're gonna have the tech scouting, and then we're next week we're gonna have the script reading. Then we're gonna have rehearsals, and then I'm all in the middle of this. I have to fucking pick up pieces and clean up a mess because shit happens along the way. So I haven't been watching anything. I did watch. Unfortunately, I watched the first two episodes of that Twisted Metal series.
How was it?
I am blown away that that's getting such good reviews because it's dog shit. I don't understand. Like, what am I missing?
Hmm.
It's really bad. And I know you could almost like maybe try and give it a pass because it's supposed to be schlocky because it literally looks like a PlayStation game because it's got terrible green screen effects. The writing is awful, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's a cop out if that's what we're going off of. Like, uh, it's just it's not good. It's got Nev Campbell in it. It's got what's his name, Anthony Mackie. It's Lowell from Wings. What the hell's his name? Thomas Hayden Church. It's just not good. I'm not going to be watching anymore personally. But anyway, before we get into our chat, remembering the great Paul uh, Reubens, aka PW, we're gonna get into our first segment. Todd's got a name that Kino for us. Play along if you might. Cue it up. Maybe we know how to operate it this time. I got to do some homework on that. That rocked my world on the last one.
Shit. Okay. I
I
don't
do want to
least.
note really quick. I'm looking at our viewership and the people in our chat, and we had a massive spike when I was talking about the QAnon, and I was talking about we were talking about all this stuff. I just want to say, and then ever since we started talking about the hot topic stuff, it's gone down a little bit. It's leveled
What is
out.
that in Rumble? Is that in Rumble?
Oh, this combines everything, so I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Okay.
So maybe it was. Maybe that was our Rumble base. And
It
maybe
could.
as soon
It
as
could have been.
maybe as soon as we stopped talking about that, then all the Rumble left. I don't know. Very interesting. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and cue it up.
Okay. Let me
Yeah,
start
we were at
presenting
triple
this.
numbers when we were talking about all that stuff of Sound of Freedom, and it's so funny.
Maybe we should do a review on Sound of Freedom.
Well, I'm gonna go see it. So if you go see it, then we'll talk
I'd
about it.
like to,
We
but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm gonna go see it with a buddy because my buddy said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, same thing." He's like, "My wife won't go see it because she doesn't want to see the kid. She can't take it." And I'm like, "Oh, so we're gonna go see it together tomorrow." But yeah, we just need to keep seeing more of those Rumble trigger words. See what happens.
Yes.
Trump, 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 red
Trump.
state, Trump. I don't know. Uh,
All
or
right,
what else?
Aaron. Aaron, I'm queued up.
I got it. You can't
Name
see
that
it. But
Kino, Aaron.
I gotta read that cake. Can you zoom in on this or no? Is that cheating? Let me squint.
No, I can't zoom in. Sorry.
La Bamba? I'm trying to read that freaking cake, man. I don't know if I have any chance of reading that cake. Um, all I know is the way they've attacked that cake is not like a human being. Why is there like a big round chunk out of it, like someone grabbed with their hand? There's a slice out of the corner. Happy 24th anniversary on the cake. I'm gonna put the comments away so I don't see any
Yeah.
of that stuff. But happy 24th anniversary. Ooh, but what's the name? Earl? Happy 24th anniversary. Well, 24th anniversary, that means they're probably an older couple. They're in their middle ages at least. And I don't even know if this is like a key scene. Maybe this is like to throw me off. But that cake looks like it's on construction. Like, what is that construction material it's sitting on? Are they at a work site? I see some guy sitting in the corner with cake in his hands, which shows me that yeah, a guy was just digging into the corner, probably that corner that's closest to him. So maybe even though it kind of looks like a wedding style cake or like an anniversary, like marriage, maybe it's like a work anniversary because this looks like a construction site. Um, this gives me like I don't think this ever happened. This gives me like Murtaugh vibes in a movie like Lethal Weapon where they're giving him a cake because his birthday and his almost retirement and stuff like that. But this isn't anything like Lethal Weapon. I'm not gonna get it on the first go, but I can't get hints on the first one yet, right? We got to wait till
No.
I'm desperate.
Mm.
Okay, so go ahead and go to the next one.
All right. Number 2.
Oh, that's Michael Madsen. And, you know, it's funny is that looks like fucking Virginia Madsen next to him, but that I don't think that's the case. Uh, if that's not Michael Madsen, that is a guy that looks a lot like him from the profile. Wow, is that Michael Madsen? You can tell me that.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
That looks like him, but I can't tell. But I'm just gonna assume it's Michael Madsen. Gosh, and that looks like Virginia Madsen, you know, from Candyman. Uh, it's not ringing a bell, but if that's Michael Madsen, I need to just sort of guess movies at this point. Um, is it? I mean, it's not a Tarantino flick. What else? It's not that shitty Blood Rain movie. Is it cheating if I go on Letterbox and look at
Yes.
Michael
Yes.
Madsen movies?
Yes.
Okay, okay, I won't do it. What was Michael Madsen in that wasn't a Tarantino movie? Because that's not Mr. Blonde. Uh, I've seen this movie? You're sure?
Y- yes.
Why am I struggling with this? That gas station kind of gives me body bags vibes of the, but that's not
No,
the
that's
that's
not
this isn't body bags at all. I know it's not, but that's a gas station.
it.
I'm struggling to think about what movies he's been in. I mean, like I said, I might be totally thrown off, and that's not Michael Madsen because it just looks like him from this. Um, but I think it is. How do they know? How the hell they know I got gas? Kind of looks like him too. But it's Michael Madsen. Gosh,
Must be pros.
they got to be pros. I'm struggling, man. You can't give me a little hint. A little hint. I am struggling because I'm thinking Michael Madsen. He's in the cute Quentin Tarantino movies. This is not Reservoir Dogs. This is not. This isn't Kill Bill.
I lost your audio. You'll come back here in a second, though.
And off top
All
of
right,
my
you're
head,
back. You're back
I cut out.
for like 2 seconds. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, like I said, it's not a Quentin movie. It's not Blood Rain, that ooey bowl piece of crap. I don't. I'm struggling to really think about another movie he's in. I can't, for the life of me. This isn't ringing a huge bell. You'd think a scene like this, if he's a main character, I would know this because you're giving me three characters. You're giving me side profiles of a couple that aren't super clear, but and you're giving me a gas station
It is
attendant
Michael. It is Michael Madsen. All right, I'll give you that.
okay, it's obvious, but I don't know what the fuck is Michael Madsen in that I'm not thinking about. What? It's not the Quentin movies. I don't know. I can't think of it.
Okay. All right, you ready for 3?
Can you give me the genre? It's not
Give you
horror.
the genre.
Fine, whatever. What is it? Just show it to me. I don't
It's a
give a fuck.
comedy.
It's a comedy. What is it?
Would you know if I said it was a comedy?
It's not. I can't think of a single Michael Madsen movie that
Okay.
isn't a Quentin Tarantino or Uwe Boll movie. I
Okay, so it
cannot.
doesn't
For the life
matter
of
what
me.
genre. Okay.
No. So what is it?
Hold me like the river
Oh, it's
Jordan.
Free Willy. I haven't seen fucking Free Willy since the fucking fourth grade. I didn't even remember Michael Madsen's in that. For God's sake.
Yeah, he's his dad, dude, or his guardian, dude.
I've I haven't seen this movie since they made us watch it on VHS in our elementary school classroom.
Oh, I thought you seen it more than once.
Why would I
I'm
watch
sorry.
this shitty movie? Yeah, I've seen it when I was a kid. Like literally when it came out on the hard clamshell VHS, we watched it in class. This is when the movie was brand new. Ugh,
Ugh. Well,
so stupid.
they get a little easier. So this is probably the hardest one.
And now that you say it, I do vaguely recall Michael Madsen being in the movie, but I never would have thought about that because you had to pretty much bring that memory back to my head. God, that is obscure shit, man.
Obscure. That's a Disney flick, dude. I thought you would get
It's
it right
not.
away.
It's not Disney though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
No,
What is it then?
it's possible it was a subsidiary, but that was Touchstone. Pretty sure. I'm gonna look. It's not Disney. Free
I
Willy.
guarantee it's a Disney movie.
Let me see. It might be a subsidiary, but it wasn't. It's Warner.
Mm.
It's Warner.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the part where he was looking for the kid or whatever, and he drives up to the
And that was Laura Petty next to him.
yeah.
Tank Girl. Fuck. Yeah, dude, that's all right, whatever. I mean, I've seen it, so I guess it's fair. But I I hope you're a little kinder to me because that's a movie I've not seen since probably 1994, 93. Not when 93. When did that come out? I can't even remember when
Yeah,
that movie came out.
93. It's all right. I
Goodness
mean,
great.
my next ones will be easy. So,
Blank check.
Aaron,
Oh, vacation.
name that
Would you?
Kino.
Oh, you didn't lose my audio, did you?
No,
Okay. Is this vacation?
no, it's not Vacation.
It's not blank check either.
No,
Father's Day.
no.
Um, hmm. I wouldn't say this is like super easy because there's a lot of movies with is it Dolores Claiborne? I'm
No, no.
trying to think of movies that I think maybe had like is it Funhouse?
Mm-mm.
I don't remember any daylight scenes on a is it Follow That Bird?
No.
There's a roller coaster scene on that too where they trap the little kid at top, right? And he's eating his apple. And he won't let him down unless he gives him a quarter. Whew, man, this one's kind of hard because it's so broad. There's so many movies that are running through my head that could have. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, is it no Problem Child? They didn't go on the
No.
what? No, that was a crazy dance. That was at night. Oh shoot. It's kind of hard to tell the era too because I'm not really seeing much else besides a an old roller coaster which could have been standing. It's a wooden roller coaster, which is an old
Mhm.
roller coaster for sure, but that doesn't really tell me when the movie was made necessarily.
Like I said, this is the hard one. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna like I said, it's just there's too many movies floating around in my head that have theme parks. So go ahead, and give me another one.
okay. Name that Kino.
It's not ringing a bell.
Really?
No, I don't know why it's not ringing a
Oh
bell.
my gosh! Don't look at the chat.
Don't look at the comments.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at the comments. Gosh, I is this a Silent Night, Deadly Night movie?
No.
Is it like The Good Son? It's not The Good Son.
No. No. You're in the right genre though. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah. Is it another movie with like an amusement park? Even though they didn't have a roller coaster, Face Off. John Travolta gets his kid shot. It's
No.
not. Is it? I also think about Tommy Boy. There's the scene at but that's at night, so it's not that. But yeah, so Good Son, kind of thriller. You said I'm in the right area there.
Horror thriller. Yeah.
Horror thriller. Not Funhouse. Um, yeah, I'm struggling. The character's not ringing a bell. The actor. I'm wondering if this is a movie I've seen like once 25 years ago again. So, um,
I don't know. I've probably seen this movie about 10 times. So I don't know how many
really?
times you've seen it. Yeah.
But you're positive I have seen it.
Absolutely. I would hope you had
And
seen
it,
it.
Clown House. I don't know.
No.
But it's not Fun House. You'd hope I'd seen it. Well, I hope you vetted that because maybe I haven't. Um, gosh,
It's a movie you probably own. Let me just tell you that.
well, I'm wondering if the roller coaster is throwing me through a loop. Like it's not really that crucial to the actual story or the plot, or it's not like super. It could have just been one frame or one brief scene. Um, I'm blanking. I mean, I don't want to sit there and take too long on it or whatever. I could go over there and look through every movie I own. Yeah, man, struggling. But that's if I've seen it, these are good. These are good quality images. It's my fault because you
Okay.
gave me a still and you gave me an actor dead on. I can't complain. I only have myself to blame. So,
Number 3. The ice is gonna crack.
oh, is this
The Dead Zone.
Cronenberg Dead Zone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've only seen Dead Zone once, but I love this movie. It was
Oh, I
great.
didn't know
Yeah,
you've seen it once, dude.
yeah, I've only seen it once, but Dead Zone is good. I like it. The whole psychic and he got into the wreck or whatever, and he had the psychic powers, and it's Cronenberg, very much a Cronenberg for hire movie.
He
Um,
took the female on the date on the roller coaster during the day, and then he also, this is his father, so
yeah,
he was staying with his father. The police came home. Tom
yeah,
Skerritt
yeah.
came
And he
over.
did he have the vision while he was on the roller
Yep.
coaster or no? Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I mean that one's fair, but I've only seen it once, so whatever. You got to forgive me a little bit, but that those were good ones.
I didn't know you've only seen it once, but
Yeah, I don't own it, but I really did like it, so I would
yeah.
like to own it. Um, I will say this too: movies, with the exception of fucking Free Willy, movies that I saw when I was younger imprint on my mind better than movies I've seen when I'm an adult once. You know
That
what I
makes
mean?
sense. Yeah.
And I saw Dead Zone as an adult once. If I would have saw Dead Zone on Sci-Fi Channel when I was like in the fifth grade, it might have resonated like those little things a little bit better. But okay, well, we'll see if I can get one out of this. Now that was a good one. I can't fault you there.
Mm.
I'm gonna try my best to like when I go next. I'm gonna try and really shake it up. I'm gonna try and do movies like that where maybe you've seen it once and it's a little harder. But I'm also gonna try and throw in movies that I know you've seen more than once and maybe try and make them a little harder because I know you should know it based on harder. I'm gonna try and see if I can gauge that. Oh no, I see a
Name that
boxer.
Kino.
Okay, well, somebody's watching a television with boxing. I could say it. Those kind of look like Apollo Creed's trunks. For that, I can't tell if that's really Apollo Creed. I'm not, just because he's black doesn't mean he's Apollo Creed. But those are gold trunks. Those are Apollo's shorts were the American flag ones. Rocky had gold trunks in the second one, so that doesn't look like Rocky. Plus, I don't think you ever saw Apollo Creed fighting anybody that wasn't Rocky. Um, you're giving me a shot of somebody watching a TV. This is going to be hard. I don't know if that's a real boxing match or if that's something that was fictionalized and put on for the movie. But there's no way I'm going to get this. I mean, there's no way. So I'm just go straight to number two.
Okay. Number 2, name that Kino.
Fucking Todd, jeez Louise, money. Okay, let me look at this money. Those bills. Do they look older? Let me see. 50s. Dude, I seen this movie more than once? Give me that.
Absolutely.
I'm already like,
Probably 100 times.
okay, is it a fucking Rocky movie? It's not.
No.
There's no way it's a Rocky movie. 100 times. Watching, is it Angels in the Outfield? I'm just gonna start guessing the most random fucking movies. If I've seen it 100 times, I don't.
I don't know if you've seen it 100 times. I'm just saying you've seen it. You've seen it a handful of times.
Gosh. Well, I'm already, batting a losing score here. So maybe give me some hints on this one because I'm already a bust. Like,
Okay.
what's the genre?
I'm not going to give you any hints on this one because
Okay.
I made the easy one medium because you should know this.
I should know
So
this.
you should know this. Yes, you should know this movie. And I made the easy one medium just in case you didn't get this one. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
my third one, I don't want you to see what it is, or
It's not a total gimme, but it
it's not
should
a gimme.
trigger me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but this is still not very good on your part. Okay. You're gonna be kicking yourself.
I mean, a stack of money. This is the third one.
Yes.
This is the fucking third one. This is medium.
This is medium.
Go back again. Go back to the other ones. Is this Ninja Turtles 90?
No, no.
It's not. It looks grainy, but it's not. I know for a fact it's not. But I'm just like trying to figure out like Danny Pennington took money, but he didn't take a big rubber band close up shot of a stack of bills like that. Go to that other one.
This one?
No, the I'm trying. Let me figure out what this is. That looks like a yellow brick road. That looks like it's a brick pattern. What the hell could that be? It looks like it's lit up. And is there something on the other side of that, or is it dirt? What's in between those bricks? Um, bro, I have no fucking clue. I seriously don't fucking know.
All right. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a fourth one, so I'll just tell you. It's Hellraiser.
Go back now. Let me plug. Now let me kind of like put it together.
Okay.
Oh,
Boxing match.
when he's watching the match.
Both of
Yeah,
them are watching the boxing match.
yeah, and she calls them. He's like, oh, yeah, damn it.
Remember in the
Okay,
beginning with the money, where he hands over
yeah,
the money,
yep. Fuck.
and then this is like the wall or whatever when the
When it's
Cenobites
glowing, when
it's
they're
glowing. Yeah.
coming, yeah. And you know what? I was even kind of thinking like, that's what. Why is there light coming through a wall? I should have fucking that should have rang a bell. At least given me a hint.
Yeah.
Oh God, I get what you're trying to do there. You're trying to make them really hard because I know the movie so
Well,
well.
yeah. I thought you would know it frame by frame. Like if you gave me Dawn of
Oh
the Dead, it's
God,
like,
that was
yeah,
and I felt like I was even on the tip of my tongue with the boxing
yeah.
because like yeah, I'm trying to like go through movies where people are watching boxing and yeah, like, God dang man,
I knew that make you sick, dude. But I had to try it.
that's really but that was still that just shows you where we're at though. Even a movie I know really well, when you give me three fairly hard ones, you didn't. I think those were all. I don't think there was hard. I don't think there was hard, medium, easy. To me, they were medium, medium, and fucking hard.
Yeah.
Personally, I think
Yeah.
you.
No, no,
I think you went backwards.
no.
I,
I thought the third one, you could probably talk yourself into Hellraiser on the third one. So I was like, maybe
I
he'll
was
get
trying.
that.
I was trying to think like, is this a brick road?
Yeah.
What is this? I mean, I'd say wall. It looks like there's some light. Like, what's on the other end of that wall? Like, what's making that light? But I'm looking at my mind's going all kinds of places with that. Like, am I looking at a floor? Am I looking at a wall? What the hell is this Tron? All right, well, okay. Well, let's just say I'm gonna get Todd back next week. I'm gonna get him back with some of his own fucking medicine, and we're gonna see how he does. Hey,
Oh for
Silhouette, sorry,
3.
man. Silhouette, hold up. Sorry. Yeah, my bad, dude. I turned off comments because I didn't want to see any cheats because I didn't want to get any assistance with those. But yeah, you gave us a super chat too.
Hey, thanks,
You
man.
said time to free Willie, Harry Russo, schizophrenic. Yeah. God. I don't think Riverman's ever seen those movies.
Schizophrenic? No.
Yeah, remember that scene where he lobs off that dude's junk? We'll be eating well blubber as soon as he frees Willie. Okay, okay. Yeah, see, look, you guys are all giving me the answers. That's why I didn't look at it. Like Mutineer, what's up, Mutineer, by the way? Yeah, everybody's sitting there calling it Dead Zone, making
Oh, so
guesses.
they
Somebody
already
guessed
knew.
free Will.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's wrong guesses in here too, and I don't know if these guesses came. You know how it goes sometimes. Sometimes these
Yeah.
guesses come in after they knew. It's like, well, that doesn't count. But
I'm sure they got it.
Mutineer, Mutineer guessed Hellraiser, which he may have gotten that in at the
It's so
buzzer. I can't
Hellraiser.
really
Yeah,
say.
I think you got that. Yeah.
What's your
Did you-
pleasure, Aaron? Yeah, it's so Hellraiser. Come on, guys. Dude, it's different. It's like when you watch fucking Wheel of Fortune at home and you're like, "Oh, how can that guy not
I
know
know.
this?
Yeah.
Guess the P. Guess the P. It's clearly this. Solve the puzzle. Like,
Yeah.
run it." And then like, but I knew a person. Their mother went on Wheel of Fortune back in the day. She said back in the day she went, and she's like, "Yeah, you're like deer in the headlights." Like,
Oh, I bet.
it's a different. It's
All the
different when
pressure's
you're in
on
the
you.
hot seat. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different, man. Anyway,
It's fun
dude,
though.
I know Mutineer. I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot. I've
Yeah, I
seen it
thought
a
it was one of
fuck
your
ton of
favorite horror
times.
movies.
It's the top. I've seen it a million fucking times. I'm telling you, it's just it's trying. I don't know.
I
We'll
thought the
see.
money thing, like I had the photo of the hand on top of the money. I was like, no, he'll get that. So I made sure to just have the money there.
I struggled. Um, but yeah, it was totally fair. I just think my only critique is we were supposed to go hard, medium, easy, and Todd went medium. I mean, they were fair, medium, medium, and I think the last one's kind of hard, especially after I fried my brain. Like, who's to say that if you would have put the wall as the first one, I might not have been operating a little better. But I was so fried by the first two. I don't know. I can memorize all scenes from Black Adam, to be honest. All right. Well, thanks for the super
Thanks,
chat.
super. Yeah, thanks a what?
I appreciate your opinion. No one's gonna make fun of you in this house. I saw Black Adam and it was terrible. I really thought it was bad. That was my opinion, but not so much Hellraiser. That's sad, admittedly. No.
Speaking of Hellraiser, I still haven't pre-ordered the box set, which I'm thinking about doing because I know Diabolic's running low. They said on
Yeah, I saw they're
pre-orders
running
for that.
low. Yeah,
Which I probably need to do that because I do want to get that.
I got like I said, I got the Arrow exclusive Chatter one. Todd's like, oh, but he's facing the other way. I can't live with myself. It looks so weird. It
I
looks
don't
so
know,
odd.
little things like that. Just I don't know.
But you really think you wouldn't be over it the second you had it, and it's just
No,
gonna go on your shelf.
well, what I want to know is the Hellraiser
What?
one. It looks like that there's like squares cut out, and like you can see like the inside case of it too, which I think would be kind of cool if they did that. I'm not sure if it's like that, but I don't know.
Well, when you
I don't
pull it
have
out,
the Scarlet, so
when you pull it out, it does. There's like the other insert is like more of a fleshy version of it.
which is
So
awesome. Yeah,
that's what it kind of looks like it's gonna do. Which if they're doing that for Pinhead, you would think the chatter has to have some of that too. But it doesn't really look as obvious, does it? So, we'll see. I don't know. I think you're weird though. It's like who's to say somebody looking to the right profile is the right way? Like why? Like why isn't left just as valid as
well,
right?
it's
Like who's
left
to?
to right, man, not right to left. That's just me though. I mean,
I get it, but like it wouldn't bother you unless it wouldn't bother you if the Hellraiser Pinhead looking to the right wasn't right pictured next to it. Like if they released it standalone, like oh look here they are, they're both looking to the left. You probably wouldn't have like registered. I don't think.
I would have. It's just the way my brain works, man. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know why. I don't know why they did them different directions either. I mean, I don't know.
Why are you second guessing yourself? Does that bother you now?
No,
Okay.
no. I'd rather have the more rare one. I'm okay. I
Okay.
don't give a shit, man. It's gonna be on my shelf. I'm gonna see the spine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, and I'm not gonna care about it 2 seconds after I buy it. To be honest with you, I did get I did get the so I ended up pre-ordering the like I said last week the Exorcist Best Buy Steelbook,
Yeah.
but they ended up putting in stock the other UK version, not the one with the Bible, but the other deluxe, not the special deluxe.
Okay.
But it's the one that it's the exact same as the one you have. It just doesn't have the Bible clamshell. That's
Gotcha.
it. And it's like $20 cheaper. But I ordered that one from Diabolic,
Mm.
and I'm either going to cancel my pre-order of the Blu-ray, or I'm probably just going to keep it and flip it. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
because the Best Buy Blu-ray, the Best Buy Steelbook will go, you know,
Oh, I'm
it'll be
sure.
gone. I
Yeah.
might as well hold on to it, and then when it comes out, I'll flip it for double, maybe pay for some of my the one I got. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Let's see the trilogy 4Ks gonna get the Night of the Demon 4Ks. Well, they're not all on it. 2 and 3 are Blu-ray.
I'm gonna get 3 on Blu-ray. I don't own 3. I own 2, and I think Olive put out 2 like years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just gonna get. I'm not gonna upgrade to the 4K, even though I have the Blu-ray that was like a 4K scan. It looks really good though. I'm sure the 4K is gonna look awesome with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got, I might
Lost your audio for a second.
have stock for a long time, and the Blu-rays of 2 and 3, which I don't own those. I I feel like in a year I'll be able to get those on the cheap. You'll probably be able to get those for like $15. Wait for a sale or whatever. I'm not really worried about it. I'll hold off. I've never seen three. I don't think I've seen
I've
three.
never seen three. I've always wanted to see it, but you can never find it.
I
It's
like
like,
two though. Two's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and roll into a little bit of chat, a little banter about Pee Wee Herman. Just to cap off the evening. I don't know, man. It kind of sucked. It feels like a lot of people are dying lately, and it makes me feel a sense of mortality about myself because we're getting to that age where the people that we grew up admiring or watching or listening are dropping like flies, right?
Yeah,
And
but you also got to look at it. He was 70 though. I mean, that's a solid life. You hit 70 like that. I
it's
mean,
not though. I don't think it is. I look at it differently. I think we should be living longer than 70. He was almost 71, but I think we should be living longer than that. I don't. Yeah, it beats 60, but the fact that he was fighting cancer, privately for 6 years.
I didn't know
I
any of that. Did you?
Well, he was privately. He didn't tell anybody.
Oh, you didn't tell me. Okay, he's private. Okay,
He had a note prepared that they put out on his social media after he died, basically saying sorry to everybody for not telling everybody he was sick,
gotcha.
but he was just fight. Yeah, but kind of like Norm Macdonald, he was fighting it in private, and no, it's really really sad because yeah, I'm just watching all these people pass away that I grew up in. It's making me feel old. It's making me feel a certain way, and I don't know, man. Pee Wee was a big deal when I was a kid.
Lost your audio again. Yeah, Pee Wee. I grew up with Pee Wee. Pee Wee's Playhouse was always on in my house growing up. I know you're a huge fan of the movies. I was more into the actual Pee Wee's Playhouse, but
Well, I
um,
was a big fan of the show. I said that was my first experience. Someone born when I was born. Yeah, Pee Wee was all the rage in the late '80s,
mhm.
right? And into like '90. And like I said, he was my first experience of somebody doing the whole alternate personality thing and really like living it outside of the show. It wasn't like Barney, and then the actor is clearly not in that damn costume when the show stops airing. It wasn't like me. It wasn't like you liking Terminator and you'd see Arnold Schwarzenegger go on the Tonight Show promoting the Terminator. The line was blurred. As a little kid, I thought Pee Wee was Pee Wee because Pee Wee he was not making appearances as Paul Reubens,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It was that whole thing, and I my first experience with him was the Pee Wee's Playhouse, and during the whole run of that show, he didn't do appearances as Paul Reubens. He was doing the Tonight Show. He was doing all the shows as Pee Wee. He was Pee Wee Herman. It was that just total character. I'd never seen anybody bury and lose himself into a character before Pee Wee Herman. And I know it had been done before, but yeah, he's like the guy. And then obviously he had the scandal that happened in like 91 or whenever it was, which is funny because at the time I'm thinking, oh, that has to be such a huge scandal because he had a kid show. But you know what? He didn't. I wouldn't say that canceled him because he still had other work. It just kind of ruined him for kids show, because growing up, you realize where he came from. It actually boggles your mind that they gave this guy a kids show because Pee Wee Herman, the character, it was a Broadway show. It was developed by him and Phil Hartman and somebody else, and you know uh, it was the character of Pee Wee, which was essentially like it's a grown man that's in a child's child in a grown man's body, and the idea is hilarious. And then they had HBO specials of the Broadway show that were really big, and then those were big, and that's where you got the Tim Burton movie, right? Pee Wee's Big Adventure, which and then off of that success, he got a fucking kid show on ABC, which is wild. But if you watch Pee Wee's Big Adventure and you watch the Broadway show, the HBO shows, it was the same character, but it was very obvious that it was subliminal. Like it was more for adults, right? And all the stuff that you watch on the kids show, it's still there. but like you don't pay attention to it because, oh, we're airing it on Saturday mornings or whatever, and it's airing during the day when kids are watching it. So you just automatically turn into, oh, this is a kid show in your brain. You flick that switch. But there's an episode of Pee Wee's Playhouse where his wish of the day is to be invisible, and then fucking Missy Vaughn comes over like she always does, who's got the hots for Pee Wee, and he's invisible, and he goes underneath her skirt and he's looking up her dress.
Yeah, there's some
I
sleazy
mean,
stuff
like,
in there. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they snuck it in.
Hmm.
And as long as they had their King of Cartoons cartoon of the day, and they had their word of the day, they had their classic kid show tropes of learning stuff. It just they got a pass. But if you watch Pee Wee's Big Adventure, the movie's so hilarious. I think comedy like that's the best, where on the surface it's not R rated, but if you want to unpack it in your brain, you can make it as R rated as you really want to, and they don't have to show you. Like I love when he's riding with the hitchhiker, the guy that broke out of prison, right? And
Hmm.
he broke out of prison for ripping off one of those do not remove tags off the mattress. Just these stupid little jokes. And anyway, they get pulled over, and the guy's in the lamb. So he makes him like act natural, whatever. The cop comes, and Pee Wee's dressed as a woman, right? Like to try, like dressed as a woman. He's got like the bandana, like a bonnet wrapped around his head, and he's talking like a girl. And there's just one little quick scene where the guy that broke out of prison gives him a look up and down, like he's turned on by Pee Wee dressed as a woman. It's fucking hilarious. And I'm like, that it's adult, right? But they just ride the line. And I don't know. I loved it. Obviously, Big Top Pee Wee wasn't as good. Pee Wee's hilarious in it though. I mean, Paul Reubens was always on fire. The movie itself just didn't hit the same. But I don't know. I love it, and he obviously did a lot of other stuff after Pee Wee. He kept in good graces with Tim Burton. Like he played the Penguin's dad in Batman Returns. He later reprised his role as the Penguin's dad in the Gotham TV show, which
He's in
isn't
Buffy the
related to
Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ooh,
Yeah,
and he did stuff like Mystery Men. I really don't like Mystery Men. I think that movie's shit, but it's
I've
got
never
its
seen it.
fans. Yeah, he's the guy that farts, silent but deadly.
Mm.
But he was in Blow with Johnny Depp. He was so yeah. When the thing happened where he was caught in the theater jacking it, which was wrong anyway, because the officer basically admit it was debunked that the officer never actually saw him exposing himself. It's not illegal to go in a theater like that. They exist. He's an adult, right? He was apparently arrested because he was exposing himself, which is entrapment if I ever heard it. Like you're supposed to go in those theaters and just get all hot and bothered with a bunch of guys around you. What are they supposed to do in there? And but anyway, he never saw anything, so it never should have been a big media stink like it was. So it's kind of wrong what happened to him. But I don't know if he could have kept that up. Pee Wee Herman was a certain type of comedy, and it's a wonder. I don't. It's a wonder that he became such a children's phenom.
Well, him and Jim Varney were like the two growing up that like they played those characters so well, and they're so hilarious. They appealed to children, and they I think they appealed to adults as well. So, um,
But Jim Varney, that is kind of similar. Where I could see someone look at Jim Varney and be like, "Oh, he's Ernest,"
yeah,
But I don't know if Jim Varney did a lot of TV appearances as Ernest. Like he never dropped the character. Like it was this alter persona, kind of like a Borat, right? Borat would do that later with Sacha Baron Cohen, where he would literally be only seen as Borat or Ali G before Sacha Baron Cohen was a household name. When he just had Ali G, he would do appearances as Ali G and shit like that. And it's kind of that weird period in someone's career where they're not so big to where you're like, is he really Ali G? Is this real? Is this who he is? You don't really know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But when you kind of grow up and you realize where Pee Wee came from, you realize, yeah, he didn't ruin his career. It's not like he got canceled or anything like that. Because I think the people that knew, and I think the adults in the industry knew, and he still got work.
yeah.
I don't think, he still showed up in movies and big stuff or whatever. Just the Pee Wee character was kind of done. And I remember the big thing. You've probably seen clips of it when after the whole scandal, his first appearance made was at the MTV Movie Awards.
Yeah, yeah.
And he comes out and just there's a huge applause, and he just kind of goes, "Heard any good jokes lately?" And everybody's like laughing, like it's funny, but I I think Pee Wee was kind of like one of those shows like Ren and Stimpy. I don't know what was going on with children's programming back in the day, but that skirted this line because even the guys that did Ren and Stimpy, he was like they just kind of like turned a blind eye. They're just like, hey, produce the show. They never questioned what we were doing. They never really looked into it, and we were just getting away with so much shit. Because Ren and Stimpy is pretty adult. Ren and Stimpy is not unlike Pee Wee Herman, where it's maybe a little bit more in your face than Pee Wee Herman, but still, if you're not really looking deeply into it, you're just going to see, oh, it's a cartoon about a dog and a cat. But if you actually sit and pay attention to what your kid's watching, it's like, that's clearly a sexual innuendo. They're clearly a gay couple. There's what the hell's going on here? There's all dick and fart jokes all over the place. And Pee Wee's kind of like that too, where it's like they got away with so much, but yeah, Ren and Stimpy had gore in it and shit eating.
So I was talking to my old lady about Pee Wee's death, and I'm trying to figure out who's the Pee Wee for my kids nowadays. And I came up, I mean,
Blippy.
Blippy, yeah. So Blippy's a Pee Wee, but they actually replaced the actual main Blippy character with somebody new. So he sold off his rights, I believe. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. That's their version of Pee Wee Herman, but it's not good, great compared to that. But
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, it might be foggy, like we might not have the best perception of it because we're comparing it to something when we were a kid consuming it to now. So you might look at it differently. But do you think something like Blippy is as big of a culture phenom as Pee-wee was?
no, 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 no. Just because of the internet age, I mean, there's so many things that are big now. But Blippy
Yeah,
is
there's a
like,
lot of stuff. There's so many, but there's so many things maybe competing too. Maybe it
yeah,
just dilutes it a little bit. Because Pee Wee
but
Herman, he had a his Christmas special was a prime time
yeah,
special. Like they aired it at like 7 p.m. during prime time. So, and I don't remember, but it probably aired during Christmas break when kids were at home. But it was competing. It was that big. It was competing with fucking probably Cheers and all this other shit that was on. And another show that did that was a huge phenom was Power Rangers.
yeah,
You know, Power Rangers did the same thing because it was like a cultural juggernaut. And when it came for the second season and they introduced like Lord Zed and all that shit, the premiere was prime time. So do we have stuff like that that's that
not
but I guess
anymore.
it's hard because we don't really do we really give a shit about prime time anymore because everything's online. Hey, it's weird.
Nobody watches television anymore. No, and Blippi was a YouTube show, but they are like a traveling. Like we did see him in an arena, that sort of thing. Like they do like arenas, not the same character or that same actor or anything like that, but just the character himself.
Yeah, so it
But
is a little
it's
different
pretty
because
big, but it's not Pee Wee big. Let's just say that.
but the things like Barney and Sesame Street would also do the same stuff. Sesame Street
Yeah,
on Ice, Sesame Street.
yeah,
We're not really getting Frank Oz. You're not really getting. You're just getting people. You're getting the character. So Pee Wee is a little different because he's almost like a I don't know why can I Andy Kaufman type character. Pee Wee and Paul Reubens are synonymous. You could never
yeah.
have
Nobody else could play
one.
him. Yeah,
It's just it was they were one and the same. And I really regret not going to see him because I don't remember how many years ago it was. Maybe 5 years ago. There was a handful of years ago that he did a convention called Phoenix Fan Fest that we have here. It's one of the big pop culture ones where you're gonna get like Marty McFly is gonna be there and shit like
yeah.
that. And I I don't really go to that shit, especially by myself that much. Those big ones are like kind of exhausting, but man, it was so tempting to just get a ticket for the one day, go in there just to get Pee Wee's autograph because I love Paul Rubens. I think he's awesome,
Yeah, he
and
didn't do many cons, but yeah, like you said, 5 years ago or so, he was doing a few of them. So
it's if he's been fighting the illness for 6 years, it's hard to tell. This probably was when he had cancer. Then time moves so fast and it's a blur, but um, he probably did have cancer, and maybe he was kind of early in the treatments. But yeah, I don't know. It's real sad, and I loved. I remember when he got this big push. I don't remember what year it was. It was probably roughly 2014. when Pee Wee was brought out of retirement and they had that new movie, the Netflix movie. But before the Netflix movie came out, for a few years leading up to the Pee Wee's Holiday movie, Pee Wee's Big Holiday, they he was talking about bringing Pee Wee back, and there was development of another. It kept changing. Like for a few years leading up to it, he's like, "Oh yeah," it was like we're working on a new Pee Wee movie, and he even did like a talk show or whatever. It's like it's going to be rated R, and we're going to take. And the whole theme of it was we're gonna take the playhouse out of the playhouse. So it wasn't a Pee Wee movie, which are all sort of their own thing. Like it's kind of like Ernest, where Ernest always has a different
Yeah.
job and occupation, lives some. They're just like totally standalone stories. He was making a movie based off Pee Wee's Playhouse with the Playhouse because there's no Playhouse in Ernest, in Big Adventure and Big Top Pee Wee or any stuff. And that was kind of an interesting thing. I'm like, he was gonna take the toys, like it was gonna be like a road trip movie with like Cherry and Conky and all this fucking shit. Like what? And he was talking about how it was going to be R rated, and I for one thought that was a bad idea. Not the movie, but the R rated, because I think no, it's like to me, it's like you lose it. It's like when Dumb and Dumber released their unedited director's cut and it was raunchy and R rated. I'm like, this doesn't mean it's better. And it's kind of like when Ren and Stimpy released their director's cut type series on Spike TV, 20 years ago, where
Yeah.
it just lost all of the subliminal stuff and it was just in your face raunchy and it
Hmm.
wasn't funny. And so I wasn't excited about like a Pee Wee movie that was in your face R because I think that's the genius of it is the subliminalness of
Oh
it.
yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Okay, so case in point, we never got that movie. Instead, we got Pee Wee's Big Holiday, which was produced by Judd Apatow, and it was a pretty early Netflix original movie. That movie came out in like 2014. We weren't getting that was like the start of Netflix getting original content, so it was kind of a big deal. Now it'd be like I don't know an insult to me, but at the time it was cool. And did you watch that? Because I loved Pee Wee's Big Holiday.
It wasn't bad. I wasn't in love with it, but it was all
They
right.
they basically remade Big Adventure. They
Yeah.
basically it was like a requel, where it's the same blueprint where it's Pee Wee's got to get from it's a road trip movie. Pee Wee's got to get from place A to place B, and he meets a lot of crazy characters along the way. In the first movie, he's trying to save his bike. He meets all these people like Simone and Large Marge and the guy who escaped from prison. You know, planes, trains, and automobiles, so he can get to Hollywood. And Jason Hervey's got his bike and all that shit.
Hmm.
This one, it's the same, but he's got to get from his small town where he works at like an ice cream parlor to New York City to because he's invited to Joe Manganiello's birthday party. That's it. But it's the same principle where he meets a bunch of people along the way. And I think it's hilarious. And you have a movie that's not R rated. There's like no language in it. It's very clean. But clearly the comedy's hilarious because it's like Pee Wee's gay. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, they almost had this like really uncomfortable bromance. And you even have like Joe like at his like penthouse, and all his celebrity friends are there, and he's all sad he won't come downstairs because Pee Wee didn't come to his party, didn't show up. It's just so stupid and surreal. And I love when Pee Wee's trapped in the well, and like in desperation, it's like, hey, he's probably gonna die. He's just like sad he's not gonna make it to Joe's party. He starts hallucinating about him and Joe celebrating together, and it's so gay and it's so funny. You don't remember this?
I don't remember
I
that
love it.
part. No.
Dude, they're like he's like dreaming. It's like a pitch black background. It's him and just Joe. It's all black, and he's celebrating with a cake and sparklers, and they got little gay hats on their sorry, like really fruity hats on their heads. And it's so funny. It's like slow motion. You have Joe Man, from what's he from? Those stripper movies you love. Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. Yeah, Magic Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's that guy. I love it when he's like they're talking slow motion. He's like, "You just want for Pee Wee." It's so fucking funny. I die laughing. And then the scene that they were promoting it with, like he was going on like talk shows and stuff, and they were showing like the clips with the balloon. To me, that was Paul Reubens. I fucking love that when he's like got the balloon, he's doing the trick, and he's just kind of letting out the air like a high pitch,
yeah. Hmm.
and it goes on for like way too long, but that's why it's so funny because it's so stupid, but he keeps going with
Lost your audio.
home to visit my family, and I made my mom and family watch that movie because it was brand new on Netflix, and I was dying laughing like an idiot when he was doing the balloon thing, and it was going on and on and on, and my mom's just like, "This is so fucking stupid," and I love it because that's exactly the reaction I expect out of my mom watching that comedy. But like, I totally get it. I get it. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Actually, I made Eva watch that. I made Eva watch that, and she watched me in bed watching that balloon scene, just dying laughing because I get it, and not everybody gets it, but I get it. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. What do you have any other? Who else were your childhood? Like who else did you watch? Because for me, when I was at a certain age, it was all about Pee Wee, and I still watch his Christmas special every single Christmas Eve. It's a tradition. I've owned it on DVD. I own it on Blu-ray. I can quote that movie. That special I can quote front to back. Even the song they sing at the beginning. I love all the cheesy '80s guests that are on there. Like this is I don't know. Even for like 1989, the guests aren't cool, but it's like he's got like Dinah Shore, Frankie Avalon, and Annette Funicello. Yeah, Little Richard, who I love, dude. He's so fucking
Oh yeah,
funny
Little Richard's
on that.
awesome.
Oh, happy wee, and he slips on the ice. Oh, 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 it's so fucking stupid. I love it. And I love it when he flips and he's picking him up and he says something cheeky. And then when he's helping him up, Little Richard goes, like it should be easy. He's like, "Oh, really? Then you try it." Like, 'cause he couldn't skate.
Shut up, Joey.
He's got Magic Johnson's on there, which is crazy. It's just, I love it. I love the '80s cheese of like the TV special. It's so great, man. But yeah, what was there anybody else that liked Pee Wee for you?
A- 80s, 80s, 90s. It was Ernest and Pee Wee were my two big ones. I mean, cartoon wise, and that and Inspector Gadget were like the only things I ever watched in the late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, it was a staple in my house. I wasn't as big of a fan of the movies, um, and I just love the intro and the outro to Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like once
I
that came
think,
on, I mean,
I think
I was in heaven.
at I would watch that with my kids today. I would totally watch Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah,
But as an adult, I definitely enjoy like Pee Wee's Big Adventure, the movie, more than the show. Like I have a lot of
I'm sure I
nostalgia with
would.
the
Yeah,
show. I have a lot of nostalgia with the show, but except for the Christmas special, dude, the Christmas special, it just trumps everything with how much nostalgia. Because not it's not just, oh, I used to watch the show. I watch that special every year and have watched that special every year for at least 20 years running now. So that special is god tier for me. But the show, I watch the show now, and your standard episode isn't like as good as the special for me. For me. But I, of course, I used to watch all the time. I love it. I like all the skits. I like the food in the refrigerator. I like Penny. I like the King of Cartoons. I love it.
Cherry,
And
Zombie.
I love the cast. Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Heiny Ho, Mecca Lecca High,
Yeah.
and the Christmas special. He goes ho ho ho, and I love you have all the pedigree. You had it's common knowledge. You had people like Lawrence Fishburne. He had an
Hmm.
early job right on. He was Cowboy Curtis, and he's on that special Cowboy Curtis. I love it. I love he'd have his like cast of characters. Cowboy Curtis, Ricardo, and Ricardo's got like a soccer fucking jersey on and a whistle. It's kind of stereotypical. Uh, it's kind of funny. Reba the mail lady
Yeah.
was Miles Dyson's wife,
Hmm.
right? Reba the mail lady, and
Yep.
then you also have. I'm probably forgetting some people, but oh, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the king of cartoons Blackula? Let me just double check.
I
King.
don't. I don't remember.
I'm gonna look it up right now because I might. I don't think I just. Maybe I just made that up, but I'm gonna like. I'm gonna see. I don't know why I'm just remembering that. Yeah, he was the king of cartoons.
Mm.
Blackula. Scream Blackula Scream. So it's got all these like crazy ties. And it's also knowledge for people that follow Rob Zombie that was his first job in the industry was Pee Wee's Playhouse, and he was just like a set worker, set assistant. He wasn't anything huge. And recently, as all the tributes have been going out the last couple days. Rob Zombie had his. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
And he tells a story where he's like, "Yeah, I actually only saw him once because he was just like this low level set hand or whatever. But I only saw him once, and I came in, and it was like the first day where we're all putting everything together. And Pee Wee comes off the elevator, and as he's coming off the elevator, he looks just like the mugshot, where he's got long hair and a beard
Yeah.
and a white T-shirt. And as soon as he gets off the elevator, the crew and everybody is playing Tequila because the movie was big at the
Yeah,
time. That's
yeah.
why he got the show. Da, 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 da. And and as soon as he gets off the elevator, he just gives an eye roll, like an eye fucking eye roll, and walks away and doesn't acknowledge anybody. And he's like, and everybody else is like, "Oh God, Pee Wee's such an asshole." But he's like, "But I thought it was fucking hilarious." But I I don't know, man. He was great. Big Adventure is top tier. Yeah, it is, Blanco. It's great. Big Top is not as good, but it's got some funny moments. And he's got two babes in that, man. He's got that babe from Hot Shots and fighting over him that works in the circus. He's got what is her name? Penelope Ann Miller, the chick. Is that her name? The chick from Dominic's mother from Kindergarten Cop.
Oh yeah, I don't know her name, but yeah.
Penelope Ann Miller, I think her name, and she was also Pacino's love interest in Carlito's Way. But I love it because she's a teacher, and in this movie, Pee Wee lives in a different place, of course, and Penelope Ann Miller is a teacher, and they're on like while they're on recess or something, the kids are out playing, they're having a picnic under a tree, and I love it. She's got like a picnic basket. It's very, very quaint. It's very wholesome. But Pee Wee's just like Pee Wee, and he's like kind of fidgety, and he's like this. And she's like, "Oh, it's like I made you your favorite egg salad." And he's like, and he clearly doesn't like egg salad, and I love it. He's like, egg salad, my favorite. And it's just so funny. And I remember like he's like just trying to enjoy it, but then she's like, "Oh, like, oh, save room for dessert." And as soon as she says dessert, he hops on her. Ah! Like he's gonna fuck her. And it's so funny. Like he like lunges on. Ah! He's like, "No, Pee Wee, get off me." In front of the kids. So it's jokes like that that are so fucking hilarious, that are
Yeah.
not so in your face, but they make you do the work.
Yeah, yeah.
And that movie, I mean, it's got Chris Christopherson in it, and I like I like the concept of the freak show
Mhm.
circus, the traveling
Yeah,
circus.
yeah.
It's cool. I just don't know why it doesn't land. And when there's the adults that turn into the kids, it's got like an early, if not the first role of Dustin Diamond.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Screech is like he's
Mhm.
one of the kids, like, oh, doesn't have any lines, but yeah, and who, yeah, yeah. Oh, and you're right. Somebody mentioned it earlier, but it's got Benicio del Toro.
Mm.
He plays like what, the dog boy? Is that what it is? He's like the circus freak. I think he's like a
Mhm.
dog boy. I can't quite remember. But yeah, anyway, so I kind of want to revisit it, but every time I watch it, I'm like, yeah, it's got really funny moments, but it's not the same. I would actually put Big Holiday over it, but yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share some stuff about Pee Wee. And it's so funny because Riverman was in town just a couple weeks ago. And right when he was coming to town, I was kind of like cleaning house a bit. And I put my Pee Wee doll and Cherry away. I put it in a box somewhere. I didn't want to go. You should see where it is. It would have been a whole fucking ordeal to get this box out just so I could get this doll out to show everybody and have it on display. But I do still have my Pee Wee and my Cherry and all that stuff. And I love it. I wish I
Is that
guess I
the one
could
I
make
gave
space.
you?
Yes, because I had one. No, 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 it's not. Because you gave me one, and then I gave it to my buddy Adam, who's
Oh,
also
okay.
a big Pee Wee fan, and I got my own. But my mom probably got me the one I have, and she got me the cherry. I guess I could put the cherry for this episode. I should have put cherry on top in the middle.
Yeah.
That would have been great. But dude, this thing was like really in storage, man. It would have taken me 45 minutes to dig everything out, and then another 45 minutes to put everything back in. Not worth it. As much as I love P Dubs, but I love the end of. I'll end it with like my favorite part. The whole first movie is hilarious, but I just love the end movie, man, where they make a movie about his adventure, right? And he's going to see the
Lost you.
movie. You lost me?
Now you're back now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I got to replace a cable. I don't know what's going on, but no, I love the end of the first movie. This is where I'll cap it off. I love when they make a movie about his adventure and he's going to the theater to watch it, right? Because he's got my big scene's coming up. And in the movie, they totally dramatized it, and they got what's his fucking face, James Brolin playing Pee Wee in the movie, right? And he's more like a secret agent. He's very dashing, and his love interest Dottie is like Morgan Fairchild, and it's James Brolin with his long hair and his beard, and he's wearing a Pee Wee suit, but he's clearly like more well built, and they made him super cool, right? And she's like calling him PW. He's like a private eye. It's like what? So it's not anything like his adventure, but it's so funny. His big scene is like the bellhop, right? And he's got a phone call and he gives PW the phone, and he didn't even get to do the voice. He's like, "Here's my big scene," and he answers the phone, and it's an overdub by a different actor. Paging Mr. Herman. Paging Mr. Herman. You have a telephone call at the front desk. So fucking funny. I love it, man. I die, and then they end it right. The final is when you have James Brolin like going in for a kiss or whatever, and Morgan Fairchild says something like seductive to him, and then he ends it with, "I know what you are, but what am I?" It's great. It's brilliant. Oscar worthy. Love it. But anyway, that's it. So let's. Does anybody else? Does anybody have any final words they'd like to share about Pee Wee before we lay him to rest? Hmm. No. Okay, so let's go ahead and end the show with Choose Your Destiny. Let's cap it off right.
All right. So this, I don't know if this will be difficult for you. This is something I argue with people quite a bit. Um,
Yeah.
I am going to bring it back to food again.
Oh, okay. Why
What?
food again, man? Okay, come on.
Oh, what
Let's
was
see.
yours last? What was yours last week?
I don't know what was mine. Oh yeah. Oh, mine was interesting, thought provoking. The whole like, would you rather lose your eyes or get your dick cut off, your dick and balls cut
Oh,
off?
okay, okay, okay.
Which Zach, you and Zach differed, so it worked. You guys had different opinions.
This is a tough one, man. Because I mean, this
Okay.
goes either way. Okay.
Is it Boo Berry or Count Chocula? Okay. Choose my destiny.
Better chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
I have a question. So, what if somebody like me who's never had one of either? What am I supposed to
Oh,
say, Todd?
you haven't had one?
I've never had a Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Oh my god.
I have. I think I've had a Chick Fil A, but I think I've had a grilled chicken fillet. Chick Fil A.
Well, then
So,
you haven't been
uh,
living, man. If you haven't tried any of these chicken sandwiches, man. These are the two top tier chicken sandwiches. You don't eat
I
chicken
can't.
sandwiches? Fried chicken sandwiches?
From these two restaurants, have I ever had a fried chicken
Yes.
on a bun? I've had fried chicken on a bun before, but have I ever had these two? I don't think so. It's
Oh my.
possible. It's possible I've had the Chick Fil A. I want to say I've had the grilled chicken only. And then Popeyes, I've never had the Popeyes chicken sandwich. But I will say, if their fried chicken sandwich is as good as Popeyes chicken, because I like to me Popeyes chicken is the god tier fried chicken. You know, some
You
people
should
swear.
try the chicken sandwich because the Popeyes chicken sandwich is the best chicken sandwich out there, man.
So I mean, some people love Chick Fil A, love it.
I love it too, but
I
Popeyes
don't.
chicken sandwich
I
is
like Chick Fil A. I don't quite get the hoopla, except I do like their waffle fries and I do like the Chick Fil A sauce. But I just call it a day and buy the Chick Fil A sauce at the grocery store and keep it in my fridge. But I am going to say I'm just going to go ahead and give it the benefit of the doubt because I'm going to assume that the Popeye chicken sandwich tastes as good as the chicken, the regular chicken, and it's as crispy. Can you get it in like spicy or like
spicy.
regular?
Yeah, you can get the
So
Chick-fil-A and spicy, you can get the Popeyes and spicy. The Popeyes has the spicy sauce on it too. It's not actually battered spicy, it's just a spicy sauce, but the chicken is a lot crispier on the Popeyes and they have the
because Popeye's chicken in general is crispier. That's what I'm saying.
yes.
So like it's
And they
not
have the
like KFC
brioche
chicken.
bun. You have the brioche bun on the Popeye sandwich with the
I
butter on top. So yeah.
like I said, I am just going to assume and give the benefit of the doubt because I love Popeye's chicken that the Popeye sandwich is better. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that, but I can't really. I'm not a real authority on it, but I can imagine how good it is.
Oh, I argue about this with people all the time because a lot of people think it's the Chick-fil-A sandwich, but Popeyes is king, man, when it comes to chicken sandwiches.
I'm not. I don't. I'm not an aficionado with all the fast food chains and all the stuff on the menu. Like it's like I don't really eat the fast food stuff that much, so I don't really know. But I'll go to Chick-fil-A because she likes nuggets. She likes their nuggets and she likes the sauce and the fries. So that's why. And I have had their grilled chicken sandwich before. And it's fine. Like, if you're dieting and you have to eat something through a drive-through, it's like 300 calories. It's like nothing. Eat it. But you know who has a better grilled chicken sandwich than Chick-fil-A? Whataburger.
We're not talking about
The
grilled
what
chicken sandwiches, man. I can make it grilled chicken sandwiches. These are fried, crispy chicken sandwiches.
I can make a fried crispy chicken sandwich too. What's your point?
You can't make a Popeyes grilled chicken sandwich
If I had the recipe, I could.
or fried chicken sandwich.
Anyway, I'm just going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say it's Popeyes. I mean, like I said, this one isn't the most versatile of ones because you're
Man
assuming
goes to
my
a
gender.
fast food restaurant and gets a
Are you
grilled chicken
assuming?
sandwich.
Are you assuming my pronouns? You're assuming I've had
Well, I kind
this
of know
junk
your
food.
pronouns because you go and buy a grilled chicken sandwich at a fast food chain.
Mutineer, he says I've never had either. Mutineer's never had them either. He says I'll
Crazy.
go with pop. He says I'll go with Popeyes though because fuck Chick-fil-A. Why fuck Chick-fil-A? Because the Christian thing, the Christian values, closed on Sundays, or what? I mean, I don't really follow all that
Chick
stuff.
Fil A is awesome, man, but Popeye's chicken sandwich is the king.
Okay, well, I'm glad this is a very nice choose your destiny for you, Todd. Uh, no, I bet I'm willing to bet it's Popeyes, but I'm just saying I'm not an authority on it. But I
It's
love Popeyes chicken. Like if you were to like change the question slightly and say who has the best fried chicken between Popeyes, between KFC, Church's Chicken, Popeyes all day
yeah,
long.
I
It's not even
agree.
close.
I
And
agree.
partly because KFC, at least the times I've had it in recent years, because when I go home to Missouri, that's all my grandparents eat. Like I'm gonna go down there for a week, and at least half the days I'm there, they're gonna get fried chicken because that's old people. They just
Yeah,
they
yeah.
love their fucking fried chicken. Anyway, KFC is so inconsistent. It's not like it used to be. But even when you get KFC good, it's not as crispy as Popeyes. The original their chicken does have a unique flavor to it. Popeyes is just so I love the skin, man.
Oh
And
yeah,
their fried
yeah.
skin is so flaky. So I love that.
And you get
I
a
love them.
spicy chicken too.
But like if I had my way, if somebody said, "Hey, you're on death row and we're gonna give you a bucket of chicken, how do you want it?" 50-50, baby. I
Well,
wouldn't want all spicy. I'd 50-50 it up.
well,
Give
they
me
have
all the fries
Louisiana
too.
hot sauce too because you put Louisiana hot sauce on top of it too. Which I
Oh,
every bite it's got to be hot sauce and chicken.
yeah.
I need it spicy.
Well, I'm hungry. No, that's too hot. But yeah, I'm just gonna assume it's Popeyes though. Okay. So next show I will definitely not do something food related because I'm gonna do that from like Todd. I'll be like,
Well, do some
what
food
can I?
related for me because I eat fast food occasionally. So I lost you. Your mic's out.
I don't know why. I don't know what.
There it is.
Hello.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what. I wonder if I have a bad XLR cable. I think I got to replace all of them. I don't know where I've got like three in this chain. Maybe that's it. But no, next week I'll do. Okay, what's the better buffet? Old Country Buffet or
Golden Corral,
Golden Corral? Like, oh God,
Old Country
choose your
Buffet.
diarrhea. It doesn't. It's like, well, you can't really do that because they're all inconsistent. The Old Country Buffet I went to back in the day in Omaha was the shit. Any Old Country Buffet I ever saw after that was not the same. It was just, uh, I don't know. Well, that's all we got. Now I'm hungry though. He accomplished that. I gotta eat dinner.
You need to go get a Popeyes chicken sandwich. You got to
I'm not
promise you're
gonna
going to
do
get
it.
one of those.
No, no. I'm not gonna promise. Why would I promise? I'm not. I,
Grown man has to
I'm,
eat a fucking Popeyes chicken sandwich.
I'm trying to stay away from the fried stuff for a while. I'm trying to I'm not gonna do it. Hey, you're counting your calories, Mister. You got to too.
Yeah, I get a cheat day every week or so.
Be careful. That Popeye's chicken cheat day is a slippery
I
slope.
haven't eaten Popeyes in months, but it's the best. It is the best.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Follow, like, interact with the video, leave a comment, follow us on Rumble, twitch.tv/Revival House. Check out our other commentaries. Hopefully, here soon. Zach and I are going to be doing a Cinema Enema for Come and See, which is a powerful, spoiler alert, powerful hit to the fucking gut movie, man. What a flick. But yeah, we'll catch you later. Bye.
See you.